Greetings, everyone. This is going to be Doctor Stone, chapter 163 to 164, so a bit of a double bill. So, in terms of these two chapters, the story progresses a fair bit, I think, anyway, and I definitely like the little progressions being made. We start off with chapter 163. We can see the crew are pretty much building something anyway, and we the spy looks like she's kind of turned over a leaf, and it's pretty funny actually. um she makes a condition with this dude, and looks like Senku might be having a what do you call it, a love interest in a sense. And I forgot what she's called, but this, oh yeah, Luna, that's the one. She's kind of like a nurse doctor at this moment looking after Senku, and it's pretty funny. And she makes one condition to heal Senku, and that is for him to be his girlfriend. And to Senku's surprise, he looks pretty mortified, because that's something he didn't really expect. But somehow she's fallen head over heels for him, because that's, Senku is a ideal type. They even mention how they're pretty much a similar age, and he's smart, and she's into that kind of smart dude anyway. And we what do you call it? We find out. I forgot that dude. I forgot what the dude is, but one of the what do you call it? One of the lackeys. He finds out that Luna wants Senku to be a boyfriend, and he looks devastated because how much of a what do you call it, manservant he was to Luna anyway. And yeah, he looks pretty bitter about it. So I thought that was pretty hilarious anyway. And because she's kind of defected to their side, it looks like the dude's also defected, because even though she's professed her love for someone else, he still cares about her, and and is willing to cooperate with the enemy anyway. And he ends up, what do you call it, drawing a map uh, of the whole fortress anyway. So interesting to see. And there seems to be a lot of foreshadowing about this contraption that Dr. Zeno has, but we don't really get to see anyway. So there's a bit of hype for it anyway. So I'm really looking forward to what this weapon could be. And yeah, the chapter kind of ends with Stanley coming back in his little what do you call it, flying machine. And the final chapter looks really cool, and it's a little face up between Ruski and Stanley. So interesting to see. And it turns out what they've been building this chapter was their own aircraft. But for some reason, Senku's in the airplane. Like, isn't he supposed to be ill or something? Why is he in the airplane? But nevertheless, I do like the fact that Senku and Ruski are the two pilots in the airplane anyway. They're pretty much the two main characters at this point. Like Senku is obviously the main character, but Ruski, he's kind of like the other main character. He gets the, like the two leaders in a sense. So I'm really looking forward to what this dynamic duo had in store for us anyway. So that's pretty hyped to see what happens in chapter 164. All right, let me get to the next chapter. So in the next chapter, we kind of get to see the little dogfight they have, and this chapter was, seems to be very heavily inspired by World War I and World War II. The dogfights of the sky anyway, and there's a lot of maneuvers they use that are quite technical and probably used in real life as well. And I did like how Senku has this massive machine gun in his hand. When I was wondering at first, like, how did they make a machine gun so quickly? But it's kind of a bluff, kind of what do you call it, to deter Stanley from getting too close, because he doesn't know if they have he doesn't know that it's a bluff, or maybe he does, but it stops him shooting. It stops him being so reckless anyway. So it's a real dogfight, and I gotta say again, like the artwork in this looks amazing. Especially the way he draws his scenery makes it look photorealistic. It's actually incredible. And yeah, the dogfight, it was very interesting to see. We see all these maneuvers, and they're being narrated by other characters. It gives us an explanation into how aerial combat works anyway. And as per usual, Senku and Ruski, they pull off some pretty cool tricks anyway. And this dude Stanley, he's a, what do you call it, a trained pilot as well. So he's quite a formidable opponent. and they managed to pulling off a pretty good what do you call it, a fight against him, and I thought they'd be pretty unmatched anyway. And in the last fight, it looks like Ruski and Senku get the upper hand, and I like how Ruski, he takes off his mask and he pulls out the gun, and yeah, he looks like the final shot. I gotta say, I think that's gonna be that's thumbnail worthy kind of paneling anyway. But I did like how he took off his mask for that. That what do you call it? That dramatic effect. And I'm not sure if he's in range actually, and it just looks like a regular gun. I don't think, I don't know if Ruski would be able to kill him, but I doubt they're able to kill Stanley anyway. But one thing I did notice about Ruski is his hands. There's like I don't know what it is, but his fingertips seem to be like colored in. So I don't know what that is. Maybe it's already been explained, but that's the first time I'm seeing it, and it's been highlighted to me anyway. So let's see what this dynamic duo can do. And I really like that Ruski was the main focus of this chapter. He definitely gets a spotlight, and damn, he looks real good in that final panel. I'm really looking forward to what's happening next, because let's see if Ruski can seal the deal or not. Let's see what happens.